Hello, my fellow readers. Dark Symphony 777, another fan fiction reading. As always, a link to the story and a link to my Discord will be in the description below. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, click on that bell for notifications. Leave a comment in the comment section below on your thoughts of the video and any future fan fictions you want me to read or review. I'm sorry for kind of sounding off. I'm having another depression attack. So, because my mom and everything that's happening with my job. So, yeah, I'm probably, it's going to be hard focusing because I just really want to go to sleep, but I want to power through this for you, my fans. So, this story is called Moon Rabbit by Kana-chan. It's a story based off the Rabbit in the Moon myth. Now, if I remember right, the Rabbit in the Moon is a Japanese-Chinese myth that is based off a certain shape in the moon that actually looks like a rabbit. And the myth goes the rabbit is wandering around the moon, wanting to make the most delicious rice cakes. So back then, people thought that the moon was made of rice. Like people here in America thought the moon was made of cheese. I don't know. I don't know what went through those people's minds. And so what happened was the rabbit would get make the certain shape, and then it would pull out a big hammer and start hammering and pounding down and trying to get the shape. And all the hammering would cause craters. The myth is basically supposed to, reveal, oh, here's where all the craters of the moon came from. It came from this rabbit using a hammer to flatten rice into rice cakes, and the strength of the hammer caused the craters. That's basically the gist of the behind the myth. Why to do that? It's a Japanese mythology story, so let's get started. Usa always thought she was an ordinary rabbit. After all, she was born just like all other rabbits and lived her life daily like any other rabbit. Every day was a constant struggle for survival as she tried to find enough food while avoiding being eaten by predators. It was a hard life, but one she was used to. And yet, looking at the moon every night, Usa couldn't help but feel like she wasn't a typical rabbit at all. It felt as though there was something missing from her soul. Something she couldn't quite name. She got a feeling akin to homesickness at the sight of the moon, but she couldn't for the life of her figure out why. The forest was her home, but had been her home for the entire year she'd been alive. Dang, a rabbit that's only... How old do rabbits live? I don't know, I'll probably look that up. Each night after gazing at the moon, except during the new moon, or if it was cloudy, she would miserably crawl into her burrow and huddle into a wall and slip into troubled dreams. Spring was the most beautiful and glorious of all seasons. After a hard winter of digging through snow for clumps of bare bushes, the sweet tender grass was welcoming by everyone, especially rabbits. Birds were chirping and the humming of a bumblebee could be heard. The air was richly scented of the perfume of flowers. The sun was shining merrily as the rabbits gamboled to and fro, playing tag and occasionally stopping to nibble a clover. One rabbit, however, was not playing. Usa was playing off to one side, a rather dejected look on her face. She had never felt more lonely. It must be my destiny to be alone, to be different, she was thinking sadly. I'm an outcast. I'm not even certain if I'm who I think I am. As she was sitting pondering these thoughts, her best friend Mimi noticed she seemed to be depressed about something. You and me both, Usa. You and me both. I hate being depressed. Look at the comment section below. Do you have depression, or do you know someone who has depression? Because I hate when I get depressed. Let's continue. Hey Usa. Oh wait, where was it? Oh yeah. Wondering how on earth anyone could be depressed on a gorgeous day as this day. She hopped over to where her best friend lay. Hey Usa, Mimi greeted cheerily. Usa didn't answer, just continued to gaze off into space. Seeming deep in thought, Mimi frowned and nudged Usa with her paw. Huh! Oh, hello, Mimi, Usa said, snapping back to reality. What is with you today? Mimi asked. Here is the first warm day we had since last summer, and all you are doing. Oh, I instantly said you're instead of you are. Okay. And all you are doing is sitting here by yourself instead of playing with everyone else. Why do you sit here being unhappy? Usa sighed and looked down. It's too hard to understand. Unfortunately, Usa didn't get a chance to explain because at that moment, a young gray rabbit came bounding out of the forest frantically. Gasping for breath, he choked up. Forest fire! Everyone gasped and looked up. Sure enough, smoke was starting to billow above the treetops. All the rabbits turned and began running away as fast as they could. What is this? What has this become? Watership Down? I'm guessing. Usa and Mimi bounded through the trees, the smell of smoke getting closer. As they ran, Usa heard a loud cry from Mimi. She turned quickly and saw Mimi struggling on the ground, foot caught in a hunter's trap. She could see the fire racing towards them. Running up to Mimi, she struggled to remove the trap. It was like a miniature bear trap, very strong. Gritting her teeth, she placed her paws on both sides of the trap and pulled with all her strength. The trap opened just enough for Mimi to pull her foot out. She tried to hop, but the pain in her foot made it impossible to do more than limp. Knowing the fire was going to reach them soon, Usa locked her front legs under Mimi's and started dragging her out. And so seriously, has it become like Bambi, a Watership Down sort of thing? I'm guessing since it's based on, I'm guessing it's like a cartoon-esque version of the myth. I guess that would explain why, we have like the whole image of Usa kind of just trying to pull open the bear trap and then just limping. It's like, I get you out of here! No, don't leave me. I'm going to help you out. Usa, this is hopeless, Mimi cried. Just go. If you stay to help me, you'll die as well. I will not leave you, Usa screamed, tears pouring out of her eyes. If we die, we will die together as friends. The fire was almost upon them, the choking mouth billowing around them, the heat of fire overwhelming their senses. Usa was becoming lightheaded, starting to black out. She whispered, I'm sorry I couldn't save you. Suddenly, in the blackness that surrounded her, she saw swirling rainbow lights. Curious, she reached out her paw, and to her surprise, the swirling lights began to surround her. As they did, she felt a strange sensation. She felt strength flowing into her body, a power she never felt before. Mimi struggled to open her eyes. Despite the smoke and heat from the fire, she glanced over at Usa and was shocked to see her glowing, her eyes beginning to glow blue as well. As she watched, Usa rose in the air, still glowing. The glow got stronger and stronger until Mimi had to shield her eyes. In a huge burst of blue light, the fire was suddenly extinguished. Mimi, aware that the heat was gone, looked up cautiously to discover the fire was out. Usa was nowhere in sight. The other rabbits warily came out of the forest, still trembling about their close call. What happened to Usa? One of the rabbits asked. Bewildered, Mimi shook her head. I don't know. The other rabbits examined her foot. Okay. One error. There's no quotation marks here. Right there. The other rabbits examined her foot, concluding it was only sprained and not broken. They helped Mimi hop along to find a new home. Usa slowly opened her eyes, aware that the smoke and fire were gone. All around her, she could see swirling lights and a soft pink glow. Where am I? She wondered. Welcome, Usa. A soft musical voice greeted her. Usa looked up and saw a beautiful woman wearing a multi-layered kimono. What happened to me? Usa asked. The woman gave her a kind look and said, You used your powers on the moon rabbit to help your friend. The power was released when you were willing to sacrifice your life for your friend. A legend tells of a rabbit who threw herself into flames to feed a poor, starving man. About that. The man was actually the moon goddess in disguise, seeking the most kind-hearted animal. In return for her great sacrifice, she ascended to the moon where she remained. You, because of your great kindness, will also ascend. Usa took this in calmly. Will Mimi be all right? Will I be able to see her again? The goddess' eyes held such pity that it tore Usa's heart. I'm afraid when you used your powers, the effort was so great that it took your life. The goddess said gently. Usa nodded sadly, but she was at least happy that Mimi was safe. The moon goddess gently took Usa into her arms, and together they ascended to the moon. Usa took one last look at the earth, a single tear escaping. The tear began embedded in the blanket of the sky and became a bright star. Future generations of rabbits would look at the star and remember the kindness of the rabbit whose love for her friend was so great that she sacrificed her own life. We can all learn something from this rabbit. And that is it. Three? No. Yeah, three. I mean, I feel nothing from the story. It's basically just, I guess you could say, kind of a cartoon-esque version of the myth because with like the rabbit opening the bear trap and dragging the other rabbit on, so it has some kind of cartoon elements. But overall, I feel nothing. Like I don't hate it, but I don't like it either. I just felt nothing from the story, so I figured, a 3 would be fine because a 3 is like average, but it also means like I don't feel anything about it's boring. I feel nothing. I mean, it's an interesting take. Like if the myth met Bambi, I guess would be my best comparison. Yeah, I think it's an okay story. I mean, what are you gonna do? I'm not gonna like it. Probably you, my fellow readers, will like it. But, I just feel nothing from the story. So I guess that's it for this story. The only thing I would change is just add a quotation mark right there. That's pretty much it. So this has been Dark Symphony 777. I'll see you next time, and